Inside a modern U.S. military command center, war is a sequence of data points. Human personnel monitor glowing screens, relying on sophisticated systems to process information and lock onto targets across the Middle East with high precision. This digital dominance creates a sense of exceptionalism. We operate under the assumption that these cutting-edge tools provide a level of control over the battlefield that no previous empire could imagine. This reliance on technology obscures a 2,500-year-old snare. Classical Athens, the dominant superpower of its age, followed a nearly identical path into what historians call the Sicilian Trap. The trap occurs when a technologically advanced empire projects its power into a regional proxy war, only to find that its perceived advantages have led to a strategic dead end. To navigate the current geopolitical landscape, we have to look at the specific conditions that triggered the Athenian collapse. The United States is currently aligning the same variables that once dismantled the classical world. The foundation of this mechanism is the imperial alliance. In the 5th century BC, Athens utilized the Delian League to enforce its authority across the Mediterranean. It functioned as the ancient equivalent of NATO, providing a security umbrella that masked Athenian self-interest. This alliance system existed within a state of permanent friction. Athens was locked in a decades-long rivalry with Sparta, the Peloponnesian War, which created the original Cold War environment of the ancient world. Institutional caution typically governs such alliances, but that stability is vulnerable to the charismatic disruptor. Alcibiades was a brilliant, polarizing figure who rose to power by openly defying the political establishment and captivating the Athenian public. Donald Trump occupies a similar space in the modern era. Both leaders possess a personal magnetism and a disruptive style that allows them to bypass traditional political norms while maintaining command over an empire. A global alliance remains stable until it is directed by a leader whose personal ambition and desire for disruption override the caution of the institutions they lead. Domestic cohesion can vanish instantly. In 415 BC, just as Athens prepared for its most significant military expansion, the city was paralyzed by the mutilation of the Hermae, a sacred scandal that triggered a social shock and turned the citizenry against itself. Today, that internal division is fueled by modern scandals, from the fallout of the Epstein files to the proliferation of AI-generated misinformation. Domestic chaos now serves as a primary tool for political fragmentation. While distracted at home, Athens was lured into a distant conflict by the proxy bait. A minor ally called Segesta requested military aid against Syracuse, giving Athens a moral justification to expand its reach into a dangerous, unfamiliar territory. The modern map reflects this same dynamic. Israel acts as the allied catalyst in the Middle East, while Iran occupies the role of the regional rival, drawing the superpower toward a potential confrontation. Defending a small ally is a powerful narrative. It provides the ethical cover necessary for a strategic overextension, allowing imperial hubris to be framed as a matter of principle. To sell a high-risk expedition to the public, you need a mechanism to rationalize the danger. In Athens, that tool was Sophistry, the revolutionary software of the classical era designed to hack human psychology through rhetoric. Sophistry operated like a persuasion algorithm, dressing up the Sicilian expedition's extreme risks as a logical certainty, convincing voters' success with simple calculation. This logic now drives artificial intelligence. The military utilizes systems like Maven to process combat data, turning battlefield complexities into digital outputs. AI provides a technocratic exercise that masks the reality of violence. By rapidly sorting targets and generating rationales, it makes the act of war feel like a sterile, controlled process, stripping away the human weight of the decision. Both sophistry and AI serve the same function. They act as a black box that replaces strategic wisdom with the illusion of mathematical control, making it easier for leaders to ignore the human costs of conflict. Algorithmic thinking has a critical weakness. It cannot account for the unpredictable reactions of rival powers. A digital model may be perfect on paper, but it often misses the variables that determine the outcome of a long-term war. When Athens overextended in Sicily, it provided a weakened Sparta with the opportunity to strike back. By tying its resources down in a distant theater, Athens left itself vulnerable to a rival that had been waiting to re-enter the fight. Behind the scenes, the conflict in Sicily was sustained by Corinth, the financial engine of that era. They provided the support necessary to keep Athens bogged down in a proxy war they could not win. A conflict with Iran, justified by algorithmic logic, creates the very drain on American power that modern rivals require. Russia and China are positioned to benefit from the depletion of U.S. resources in a regional theater. Charismatic leaders often shape the narrative of history, but strategic survival depends on human critical thought. If the decision to go to war is surrendered to algorithms, we are likely to repeat the errors that ended the Athenian age.